Namaste, it's the Spiritual Daywalker with your tarot card reading for this new moon phase from 26th of September until 9th of October. This new moon is in Libra, so it's about balance, Gemini, which is a huge topic for you, seeing both sides of the coin, right? So balance is something that you know a lot about, but it's tough to achieve for you, and it's very interesting how this will come up. During shuffling, there was an Ace of Cups, though, which is beautiful. And it is a card of love, but for me, even more so, a card of trust, a card of trusting the universe that everything will be fine, that God loves you, that you love being alive, all that stuff. That being said, it is a general message. So if the reading doesn't resonate with you, feel free to drop the message. If it does resonate with you, drop a comment, like and subscribe, and share to whoever might enjoy this reading style. We're going to do the DNA spread, which is like a Tree of Life spread, but, well, of my own invention in a sense. It's the spirit axis in the middle and the energies balancing around it. So in the spot of your soul, there is the Ace of Wands. That is like pure Aries energy moving you. That is passion, that is a new project, whatever, all that coming in, but it is in the soul spot. So it's basically the sheer creative impulse of source that is driving you. It's like your soul just switched on and you're like, okay, I got new energy. So what am I doing here? Well, you're learning the lesson of justice. There is balance in here, and you trying to be fair in something that is your challenge, trying to be fair. Well, challenge can, like, justice can be legal matters, especially in a time like this, in a Mercury retrograde and all that stuff. So dealing with something and trying to balance out, even though there is a lot of karmic things to resolve, right? There's a lot of karma. Justice as a challenge, that can be legal matters. I won't lie, right? But it is you dealing with balance, dealing with arguments, dealing with conversations, relations, right? But there is that sense of structure and fairness, right? And also karmic debt. So let's see how this manifests. The World in reverse. It's tough to close out that cycle. Very interesting. And you're manifesting not closing that cycle, which is even more interesting. The World is the very last card in the tarot. So it is like a chapter ending, you moving into a new direction, but somehow first this has to clear. Right? Now let's see how you're clearing it with the energies that balance around this. Some kid is driving his like vehicle outside. I don't know if you can hear it, but I do. It's like zzz. Anyway, dealing with disturbances. That is September, or was September. Now we're moving out of this. And what gives you impulse are conversations. There's a Three of Cups. Three of Cups is very beautiful. It's like talking about what you feel, basically sharing your emotions with the community around you. Your community is inspiring, right? So it seems like the people in your life very much give you a good impulse on how to deal with this injustice. But coming from that Ace of Wands, it is you starting something new that puts you in front of those challenges, right? But somehow that world in reverse, manifesting that world in reverse, that is going to be interesting. Because why is it in reverse? Why is it delayed? And how do you deal with that delay, that this chapter is not closing when you're coming from an Ace of Wands? Because these are very conflicting energies. Your soul wants to move, manifesting a world in reverse. Like, what is this? Let's see. In the spot of the two, that which gives you a little balance, is a Mother of Wands in reverse. Kind of get the sense that it's someone else. Like the Mother of Wands in reverse, it usually means coming down from your high horse, right? And for you, I get the sense that it's a different person, where you're like not arguing anymore, and you let them be like their Mother of Wandsy kind of energy, fire energy that is very demanding and doing very little about it, though. Well, the Mother of Wands is beautiful, beautiful energy. It's very sexy, very attractive. Um, but it's in reverse, so it's kind of overcompensating something that is hidden underneath, right? Coming from that Ace of Wands also is like, I get the strong sense that it's not exactly you, but it might just be the cause which gets you talking to friends about your emotions, or maybe to them about your emotions. Very interesting. Let's see what you learn from that. In the spot of the 3, 3 is a number for, like, it's a spirit number, 3, 6, and 9, right? Tesla was right. They are magical. And the 3 is the smallest multiple of that 9. Usually the starting point for it, meaning it's a progressive insight. Something gets you moving, you're learning something about it on how to direct that energy, like a spiritual insight. And it is the Lovers. That is the commitment. And it's not in reverse. There is commitment there. But it feels like you are committed to a cause, right? And something long term. So you want to make that Ace of Wands last, and you are committed to pulling through, or you're realizing where that commitment is going to. Because what you don't see right now, but I can, like, they're going to the left, these geese, whatever, going to the camera, no, like going to the left. For me, it's the right, because for camera left. Here, to those 3 birds, right? So the birds moving towards the birds, away from the snake, which is very interesting, right? So it seems like you, maybe it's even 3, right? Interesting. 2 moving away from 1. You also have this in this image, kind of, the 2 and the 1. Very interesting. A new impulse your soul gave you makes you move away from an overcompensating fire energy into true longevity and commitment, which is beautiful. Most likely a commitment to yourself that gets you there. Very interesting. So this is how your soul evolves right now. Now let's see how the Justice is here in the parenthesis of the 4, which give you stability, is Death. Interesting. So the idea that things change and that change always gives rebirth, that is the very thought or energy that is giving you a sense of security. Now, on the other hand, in the spot of the 5, what is causing friction, or like the energy you're dealing with, is figuring out what your vision is, right? Look at this. There's a 3 of Wands that is building a portal, but it's also an energy where someone might get burned, right? 3 of Wands. Also, you're moving from a 3 in a 3. Very interesting. And then up there's 6 animals, like I counted. There's another 3 with the Justice cats and this dead bird right here on the Death card. It's a lot of 3, so it is full-blown with decisiveness, which is kind of interesting, right? You've been getting more decisive in the past, and now this is getting you moving, really moving towards that Ace of Wands, right? So the conflict you're looking for actually is trying to build something here. You're not shying away from the conflict. You are making your vision come true, and that it comes with the conflict, right? So what gives you stability with that death is, well, it basically means leaving that stability behind, right? So the lover's moving towards the spot of the one, towards that impulse you're getting from friends, from the need of being able to share your emotions. And you got a lot of those emotions because you have a lot of thoughts. Thoughts trigger emotions. How do you feel about this? How do you feel about that? Right? So this is what you do, and you need that exchange, right? So you're probably drawn to people that exactly don't need that. They're just like, you know what? I don't care. Let's just do it, right? And you're like, how can you just do it? I mean, like, we have to think about this and this and this and this. We have to talk about this. And you're like very, kind of idealizing that energy. Not anymore, you're not, because you've incorporated that energy yourself. Like it looks like you've taken that stick from the Mother of Wands with that Ace of Wands right here, right? Chilling on it a bit with the other two birds, and then building your vision with that. That is very beautiful. So now let's see in manifestation how this comes to be in the spot of the seven. So your sense of self is determined by the High Priestess, by your inner knowing that wisdom is something valuable, and that this position of the deep thinker, right, is something very valuable. That is beautiful. So more and more it seems like that justice is actually kind of dealing with karmic justice. This meaning, like, there is that sense of, well, you don't have to fix it, you have to go your own way, right? You don't have to fix them, you have to go your own way. Even if you go together, like even if the lovers means that this commitment is there and to be cherished, right? I would never tell you to, like, well, maybe some, but I would never tell you to, like, leave a relationship just like that, right? You are making your own reality right here. But the lovers is the three, like the spot of the three, the lovers, which is also a six of the major arcana. Like all threes and sixes, you're learning so much and very consciously committing to realizing your vision by the impulse of others sharing their feelings about you, or you sharing it, and the need to be able to feel and share those emotions. So what gives you stability is that this is exactly right, that your way of being is a beautiful way of being, right? And she's very stagnant, but that is the sense of stability, or like, you are that high priestess, basically. You see it all, right? The pros and the cons. And but the high priestess doesn't exactly have to communicate it. She just knows, right? She can communicate it, but it's more about stillness and inner knowing. However, coming from that Ace of Wands, manifesting that stillness, well, that's you accepting your own energy and owning that energy. Interesting. In the spot of the egg, what gives you abundance is the sun. It's in reverse, though. The high priestess looking at that sun in reverse is like, so if it's not making me happy. And the funny thing is, it's linked in the diagonals, which why it's called like the DNA spread, is because they move into each other, right? So the Mother of Wands in reverse is going into death, right? So letting go, the lover's moving away from that Mother of Wands, from that overcompensating kind of fire energy. Whoever that is in your reality, if it's yourself, maybe you are dropping the act, right? And then that death card into the sun in reverse, where you realize it's not making you happy. Like, the things you do are not fun. The staying there won't get you nowhere. Problem is that high priest is kind of looking at that sun going like, well, at least I know, right? At least I know something's off. Let me analyze this situation a bit more. Whoa, by analyzing that situation, you don't get out of that situation exactly. That's why the world is in reverse, right? However, you're owning your own energy with that, which is kind of cool. So let's see what like in the spot of the 6, your wisdom is you gain from that, or like the insight that elevates you above the situation is the Chariot. Nice. The Chariot, that is a Cancer energy also, but it's like it is determination. It's also stillness, but that pull. So basically the High Priestess getting an impulse from an Ace of Wands in the soul spot ends up in having to incorporate the Chariot, the sheer determination and will, together with the patience to wait for the right time to move, right? Because there in the middle, there is that justice. So it has to be in balance. There is a karmic way to things. Everything comes with the right time. You don't have to fix it. The universe is going to fix it. All you need to do is trust that you're on the right path, and that whatever happens for a reason. So the world in reverse is not exactly, it's not exactly a bad thing right here. It is, but rather a result from your stillness, which is coming from a fiery impulse. Does that make sense? So your fiery impulse is to own the way you work, to own the way you think, to own the way you be. And that is stillness. Well, not exactly in your mind, like, but in the world. You're a thinker. You're talking about stuff. You're talking it to death, basically. Right here. You're talking and talking and talking. But what if this? What if that? What if this? What if that? And that's beautiful. That is like, that is knowledge, right? But what you're coming into is wisdom. That is the High Priestess. So your impulse into wisdom is being triggered by the people or the situations surrounding you that give you an emotional feedback and make you more open towards trusting yourself and knowing what you need, building your vision around that, and getting off from your high horse. That is like a little pretentious, like, I'm going to just sit here and feel worthy, and then the universe will just bring me shit. Well, the High Priestess, on the other hand, is sitting there waiting for the right time because she sees, right? That's a small difference. It's a different, well, the Mother of Wands not exactly still also, but it is a feminine energy. It is a receptive energy. So that's why it's more the diva, like the one moving, but trusting that everything will be prepared for her. And that energy is incorporated in the High Priestess, in someone that does not expect anything to be prepared, but still has the same kind of confidence, moves with a grace, with a true grace, and not a fiery, splashing around all over the place kind of attitude. Very, very interesting reading. So what you are manifesting right here is being okay with things not moving, because this is how you own your truth of being just, right? Owning that justice. This is Gemini, right? I believe, isn't justice actually Gemini? I should look that up. I don't care too much about the star sign links of the cards, because I find they can be improved, because a little bit of is like, there's a little bit of everything in everything. But for a Gemini reading to have the Justice card in the middle, that is you owning that duality, right? So that everything is balanced, is just, right? With the Lovers also. Oh, the Lovers is Gemini. Ha! Now I remember, the Lovers is the Gemini. That is so interesting that you have the Lovers and the Justice And then down there, the Chariot, which is also sort of Gemini-y, because in that Chariot, usually, like right here, it's a horse, and that high horse you're coming off of. No, but usually there's two horses or cats or whatever ready to pull the wagon that has no wheels. So there's a two in there also. Very interesting. Coming from a one, Ace of Wands, in the soul spot, through the big twos in the deck, the Lovers, the Justice, the Chariot, into the full cycle, which is beginning to end. Wow, that is amazing. So you get the impulse of owning, creating that balance within you by owning who you truly are and being okay with things, with how things go, right? And moving away from idealizing people that are like too rushing for you, lacking a word right now, but like they're too hasty for you. You love being in that high priestess, and it seems like you found people, surroundings that support that empower you in that, and that's going to create balance within you to be able to let go of that World card. But you're going to know when the time is right. You're going to know. There is that Death card. You're still struggling with letting go. Maybe you're letting go a vision you had with that Three of Wands. Maybe you're letting go a vision you had about that Mother of Pentacles, about that fiery energy where you're like, maybe it's a different direction. What if it's different, right? What if I adjust my vision, make it just, right? That is a beautiful reading. You're going to close that chapter out soon. The cool thing is usually closing out that chapter is coming with like an itchiness, and it can be because you're coming from an ace of wands, and that is an energy that is not exactly stillness, but for you it translates into owning that stillness. So I feel like you're going to be quite chill, having a good feeling about this. That is very, very interesting. Very interesting. Yeah. It is the Sun in reverse, so it's not exactly easy, and a Death card. Well, letting go of something, moving away from something is not exactly easy, but you're owning that with all those major arcana cards and you being in your own energy about this. Gemini, it's a beautiful reading. If it resonated with you, drop a comment, like and subscribe, share to whoever enjoy it. And yeah, thank you so much. Check out davewalker-bali.com. I love you.